So let's talk about 50 Cent. Great rapper, has some great hits, great records. I love his music. His early stuff. I don't know if he still makes music, but he probably does. I don't know. I've been listening to the same three, four artists like for the past few years now. But I digress. Back to 50 Cent. So he is known to tell us, he warned us about Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Like he was telling us about Diddy. And now it also seems like he was also trying to warn us about Jay-Z because Jay-Z has been, seen alongside Diddy, and with everything that's going on with Diddy being arrested and everything, people are looking around, at the company that he kept, and they are wondering, about these other big name stars, because you know the saying, if you are the sum of your friends, like as well as if you have five different or if you have four friends that are millionaires, you're gonna end up becoming the fifth one. If you have four friends that are addicts, you're gonna end up becoming the fifth one. So anyway, let's the video I want to talk about today, the video we're gonna react to today, is exactly about 50 Cent warning us about Jay-Z. It's titled 50 Cent Tried to Warn Us About Jay-Z, and it's by the YouTube channel HipHopMadness. So as always, link to the video and link to this channel will both be in the description below. Be sure to check them out. Let's get it.
I wasn't in the ad
Right.
because of Jay-Z and them was putting it together. Mm-hmm. So I think they still harbor some energy towards me.
You think you were purposely left out of the ad?
No.
Okay.
I don't think. I think that they were saying the NFL has some issues with me that I don't know what those issues are. Like, what is the issue?
I hit the homie, the big homie Jay-Z, right? And he pulled up on me and he said, the white guy called for 50 Cent. So I said, who's the white guy? I'm digging this Jimmy Iovine. And he said, no, Eminem called directly for 50. And he said,
that's his guy.
He said, I can't do it if I can't bring 50 up.
Right? And I'm like, that's when I start saying crazy stuff because I look and I go, oh, that's your big homie, right?
While he's often celebrated as a business mogul and legend, some argue that Jay-Z's climb to the top is littered with shady deals, questionable partnerships, and backdoor maneuvers that have left many feeling scammed. From controversial streaming service rollouts to accusations of exploiting artists, Jay's business tactics have raised plenty of eyebrows and sparked debates. Today we'll
Bro, when Kanye was tripping, not tripping, but like Kanye was like pissed at Jay-Z when his girl got robbed or mugged, and like Jay-Z didn't call or nothing about it, and so Kanye was pretty much like, what was that? Kanye was pretty much like, mad at Jay-Z for not checking up on him, because it's like Kanye's done a lot for Jay-Z, you remember? And like the beats, the beats, all the music they've done together, a lot of everything. And Kanye kind of looks at Jay-Z as like a big brother. That's why it's like, my big brother was Big's brother, used to be Dame and Big's brother. But it's, man, I don't know, because when you climb to the top, a lot of people are willing to do anything to get there, even if they have to step over corpses to do it. And it seems like Jay-Z, from all the rumors and things that go on about Jay-Z, it seems like he is one of those people that are just willing to climb to the top by any means necessary. And the music's good, yeah, but what about the person, the personality? Like I remember seeing this one video where some guy was claiming that Jay-Z stole his backpack from him, and and Jay-Z was just saying that he didn't and stuff like that. But I don't know the whole story behind that. I'm not gonna get into it. But even if you're a billionaire, you're stealing people's backpacks, like that's crazy. Okay, but anyway, let's get back to it.
dive into how the self-proclaimed businessman might either be the slickest hustler in the game or the biggest scammer hip-hop has ever seen. Sean Corey Carter, better known as Jay-Z, was born on December 4th, 1969 in Brooklyn, New York, and grew up in the notorious Marcy Projects. Raised by his mother, Gloria Carter, after his father abandoned the family when Jay-Z was just 11, his early years were marked by hardship. In a neighborhood riddled with violence and poverty, he turned to drug dealing as a teenager to get by. But even amid the chaos, music became his escape. A birthday gift from his mother, a boombox, ignited his passion for rap. And reflecting on those early days, Jay once said, "If I was focusing on music, you know."
Yo, his younger pictures look vastly different from how he looks now. I mean, obviously the face still looks the same, but like there's a difference. You know what I'm saying? Like his younger pictures, he looks a lot skinnier.
I wouldn't be, running the streets all wild. So she tried to encourage me to pursue my dreams in music early on. Inspired by his mentor Jaz-O and the Jay-Z subway lines, he took on the name Jay-Z and started what would become one of hip-hop's most iconic careers.
Chapter 1, the Rockefeller and Dame Dash hustle.
Jay-Z might have left the streets behind, but he brought the same hustler mindset into the music industry. As he got deeper into rapping, he was introduced to talent manager Dame Dash by producer DJ Clark Kent, who had worked on a few tracks for Jay's debut album. At the time, Dame was managing the 90s hip-hop group Original Flavor. According to Dame, he and Jay instantly clicked, and even mentioned how he was impressed by Jay's pristine Air Forces. Dame started pitching Jay-Z's first album to various labels, but the feedback wasn't promising. Industry executives claimed that Jay wasn't marketable, calling his sound bad. So when no major label showed interest in Reasonable Doubt, Jay-Z, Dame, and a third partner, Kareem Burke, decided to take matters into their own hands. Pooling their resources, the trio founded Rockefeller Records in 1994, and that's when Jay-Z's real hustle in the industry began. Universal.
You notice how a lot of these record labels, they tend to only like they said, like they thought Jay-Z wasn't marketable. It seems like they don't want to take chances, and they're only willing to do what works for them and what they know that they can market and what they know they can make a profit off of. That's fair. They don't want to take chances. It's fair. But they messed up with Jay-Z. You think that they would have learned their lesson, but they mess up again with Kanye West. Bruh, so it seems like if you're an up-and-coming artist, right, and you're getting turned down by all these other record labels, just think to yourself, oh shit, I might end up being the next Jay-Z or Kanye West. It seems like that's the secret to success, is to get turned down by all these other record labels, and then someone else will decide to take a chance on you, or another record label will, or you can pull your resources together and make a record label or something. Go independent is always probably the best move with how record labels be treating their artists these days. But even with Eminem, like when Eminem first came into play, like Dre was like, hey, this the guy that's, we're gonna work with him, and people were like, yo, don't. People trying to tell Dr. Dre not to work with Eminem, and look at Eminem, bruh. Like record labels and people in the industry be tripping sometimes, yo.
Music Group acquired 50% of Rockefeller, splitting their share between two labels. Def Jam held 25%, and Polydor took the other 25%. This partnership allowed Rockefeller to scale rapidly, while Jay-Z shifted from his original plan of just releasing one album, realizing his immense talent and preparing to transition from rapper to businessman. With this growth, Rockefeller began signing rising artists like Cameron, Beanie Sigel, and most famously, Kanye West. At this point, the label was thriving, with Jay-Z at the helm and a growing roster of successful artists under Rockefeller's name. But as the success rolled in, Jay started to see Dame Dash as more of a liability than a partner. This is where some say his seedy business practices truly began. Dame's ego had grown with Rockefeller's rise, leading to public blow-ups and erratic behavior. He caused a scene on tour over Rockefeller jackets being swapped for Def Jam merch, and started pushing artists like Cameron without even running it by Jay. With Dame fully immersed in the celebrity lifestyle, complete with a Maybach and a personal chef, it became clear their partnership was wearing thin. Then came the event that changed everything, where Def Jam was holding a meeting with Jay-Z, but then Dame Dash, always used to be involved in everything, forced his way in, only to realize they were discussing vital business plans.
I seen all of y'all yesterday. Why nobody told me about a marketing plan about Jay-Z? This is not your artist.
Now, today, anyone can find your
See, this is not your artist.
I thought something else was on his hip.
Now, today, anyone can find your address, your name, your phone number, your job, heck, even who you voted for, all across the web on data broker sites. And
Okay, I'm all for, you know, YouTubers getting sponsored, because a lot of times people have ad blockers and just, you know, they skip the ads, or they block ads from being played on a video they're watching. But if you're going to do a sponsored, you know, a sponsorship, you can at least try to make it a great segue into that sponsorship, so that so that it's seamless. You know what I'm saying? This guy didn't do it. He just cut right to it. And so since he did that, I'm just gonna
no public family by you, or let's get to the video.
There we go.
How y'all got a meeting about Jay without me? How y'all make any decisions about Jay without me? I bet you Jay don't know I wasn't invited. I bet you that. Email, now we discuss things through emails. Jay's not on Def Jam. Jay's on Rockefeller. Y'all not better than me. I want somebody to explain it to me. I ain't get no calls about nothing. Nobody in this room's better than anybody in my staff.
The reason? Jay-Z was preparing to sell his share of Rockefeller to Def Jam in exchange for a massive payout and a new position as president of the label. Jay-Z had come to a realization. He was both the talent and the business, and Dame was no longer needed. To fully grasp how Jay-Z outmaneuvered Dame Dash, we need to break down the business structure behind the deal. Jay-Z, Dame.
Hey, yo, that's cold-blooded, to be honest. Like, that's cold-blooded, bruh. Like, I get in Jay's eyes, Dame was becoming a liability because the way he was acting and like his ego growing with the business. You could pull him to the side and be like, hey man, you gotta chill. You gotta chill out with this and that and this and that. Your ego, the way you've been acting. It's like you gotta calm down. We gotta calm that shit down. We gotta remember where we came from. But obviously, I don't know the full story. Like, I don't know how everything went and how Dame was acting. But like, if your homie's acting out of pocket, you gotta pull him to the side, be like, hey man, let's be real. Chop it up with him, let him know what's going on, and then get back to business, get back to making that money on. You feel me? And you can't. But Jay's cold-blooded with that. He was cutthroat with it. He's like, yo, I'm just gonna cut him loose, and I'm everything. I'm the business and the talent. I'm out of here. That's rough.
Dame and Kareem Burke sold off their remaining shares of Rockefeller for $50 million. But what Dame didn't know was that Jay had already cut a side deal with Def Jam. With Kevin Lyle stepping down as president, Jay negotiated a brilliant move by securing a $30 million payout to become the head at Def Jam. And, as a part of the agreement, reclaimed ownership of all of his master recordings released under the label. Basically, Jay-Z had hustled Dame Dash in a cutthroat deal which lost him millions of dollars. The only part of the deal he lost was not gaining full control of his first album, Reasonable Doubt, which Dame still owns a part of to this day. As Rockefeller evolved into more than just a music label, the tension between Jay and Dame grew as Jay would hustle Dame a second time for even more money. In 1999, Rockefeller launched Rockaware, transforming the label into a full-fledged brand embedded in hip-hop culture, with fans purchasing both music and clothing. For Dame, this was hard to accept because he had always prided himself on not having a boss, but Jay's new position at Def Jam made him exactly that. Eventually, Dame left Rockefeller to start Dame Dash Music Group, which ultimately flopped. In a final bid to sever ties, Dame sold his stake in Rockaware for $22 million, but just 2 years later, Jay-Z flipped the brand for $204 million, leaving Dame out of a potential $30 million payout. Despite the lawsuit from the buyers of Rockaware, Jay won the case, walking away with another $15 million. Once again, Jay had outplayed Dame, the man that first believed in him, leaving him with just his share of Reasonable Doubt, a piece of Rockefeller's legacy that, as recent events suggest, might soon slip from Dame's hands as well. Today,
that is, ooh, bro, that's rough. To betray, like, it feels like betrayal. You know what I'm saying? To betray the person that first believed in you, the person who gave you the chance, who gave you the shot, and then you just be like, all right, peace. And like take all that and just like do them dirty like that, bro. That's rough, man. I don't know, man. I get how he felt like he probably felt like he didn't owe Dame anything, but he was just he said, this, in my opinion, this is what selling your soul looks like, because it's like selling your soul for money and for the almighty dollar versus keeping your morals and, you know, still being tight with the people who brought you in. Like, like the people who gave you a chance. Still, like throwing away the respect for money. That's to me is what selling your soul looks like.
Dame Dash faces a slew of legal issues, specifically over unpaid child support, and it's landed him in a difficult position. He's now being forced to auction off his remaining share of the only piece of Rockefeller that he has left, the rights to Reasonable Doubt, Jay-Z's debut album. The auction is set for next month, and Jay-Z will be in a position to potentially own his entire discography soon. This legal battle has spiraled into a series of lawsuits, and by 2024, Dame's last 33% share of Rockefeller will be up for grabs. However, Jay-Z won't fully reclaim their rights until 2031, when the 35-year copyright rule allows him to challenge the ownership under termination rights. Still, Dame isn't backing down without a fight. In fact, he's even hinted at the possibility of selling those rights to Drake just to spite Jay. In this story, we see how Jay's ability to turn every business move into a personal win often comes at the expense of others, and highlights how his climb to the top of both music and business was fueled by sharp strategy and unapologetic hustle. But he didn't stop there. Just a few years after his departure from Def Jam and Rockefeller, he launched yet another business venture, further expanding his empire.
Rock Nation.
After exiting Def Jam, Jay-Z launched his renowned talent management company, Rock Nation, in 2008, which marked the foundation of what would become his multi-billion-dollar empire. However, just like with Dame Dash, building this meant Jay-Z had to outmaneuver others. Early on, Rock Nation found success by signing J. Cole and partnering with Sony Music. The company expanded beyond music, managing athletes and venturing into different industries. What set Rock Nation apart was its hybrid model. It wasn't just a label, but a talent agency that could function like one when needed. Jay-Z recognized the potential but sought quicker expansion to solidify Rock Nation's place in the industry. One strategy he used was stepping into quote-unquote save artists in difficult situations, generating positive publicity for both the artist and his brand at the cost of other people. One of the most notable examples is Lil Wayne. Back in 2008, Jay-Z attempted to sign Lil Wayne to Rockefeller, but Wayne stayed loyal to Birdman and Cash Money. Years later, as Wayne faced legal battles with Birdman over unpaid royalties and other financial issues, Jay-Z stepped in to offer support. Wayne even publicly thanked Jay for helping him pay off his $7 million tax debt, making Birdman look like the villain in their dispute. The timing was perfect. Jay-Z was launching Tidal, his music streaming service, and Wayne...
Bro, Tidal kind of upset me because like, well, I started using Tidal because I was like, oh cool, it's Jay's thing. That's cool. You know, black owned. That's what's up. I will support. Then, and I'm like further down the road, I'm like, who still owns Tidal? Does Jay still own Tidal? For whatever reason, I looked into it. I'm like, did he sell that shit? Like, it doesn't. I couldn't find. Maybe I didn't do enough research, but I couldn't find where he was still like the owner. So I was like, why am I still using this and paying for it if Jay's not the owner and it's just someone else? It's like it's someone it's not black owned anymore. I was like, bro, did he flip that shit? So I canceled my Tidal. Bruh.
Wayne's support for the platform seemed like a favor in return. Although Wayne eventually reconciled with Birdman, the narrative of Jay-Z as his savior stuck, further boosting Jay's image as someone who helps artists in crisis. This wasn't an isolated incident, as Jay used a similar playbook with Lil Uzi Vert. Uzi, stuck in a frustrating situation with Generation Now during the highly anticipated rollout of his Eternal Atake album, publicly aired his grievances on social media. Uzi's follow-up to Love Is Rage 2 was one of the most anticipated projects, but kept on getting pushed back, in part to leaks and issues with his label. However, that all changed when Uzi announced his partnership with Rock Nation. Even Billboard described Jay-Z's strategy, stating, "When an artist is having problems with his or her record label, there seems to be only one phone call to make, and that's to rap superhero Jay-Z and the folks over at Rock Nation." In came Jay-Z and Rock Nation, with Uzi tagging the company in a post saying they helped him get back to recording. Rock Nation signed Uzi, framing the deal as Jay-Z rescuing another artist from an unfair contract. But DJ Drama, who was involved with Uzi's original label, later pushed back, claiming the narrative was unfair and exaggerated. Drama even suggested that Rock Nation's PR team was behind the story being published to Billboard, positioning Jay-Z as the hero while making Uzi's previous label look like a villain, a move eerily reminiscent of how Jay-Z handled the Lil Wayne situation. And now, Drama has been vocal about how it played out and portrayed him as the villain of the story.
So it seems like, okay, so at this point, Jay is trying to maybe cover up his past, that he, the things that the dirt he's done in the past by posing as this savior of rappers. So, but if it's not just that, what else is it for? you know, like, are there more skeletons in the closet that nobody knows about, and he hopes nobody finds out about because his public image is that of such a good person?
Roc Nation saves Lil Uzi. Get the out of here. We all love Hove. I don't know who handles the PR or
I can
Roc
guarantee
Nation.
you.
The story shouldn't have been painted in that manner. It was unfair to us. It wasn't kosher.
Megan Thee Stallion is yet another artist who found herself wrapped in Jay-Z's web of quote-unquote support. When Megan faced legal issues with her label over a 360 deal, Roc Nation stepped in, advising her through the legal battle and ultimately signing her to their management team. Then came the high-profile incident with Tory Lanez, where Megan was allegedly shot by the rapper. Roc Nation stood by Megan during the controversy, further enhancing their image as protectors of artists in distress. Megan's career soared after this, with major hits alongside Beyonce and Cardi B and multiple Grammy wins. Once again, Jay-Z positioned himself as a savior, but it was clear that Roc Nation's involvement had a deeper motive, boosting their own brand while leaving others, like Megan's original label, in this case rightfully, to take the blame. In all these cases, Jay-Z's pattern is clear. Step in when an artist is vulnerable, help them out of their predicament, and in the process, enhance his own influence and reputation. Whether it's paying off debts, navigating label disputes, or stepping into the middle of a public controversy, Jay-Z's actions are less about altruism and more about opportunism and securing deals and narratives that favor Roc Nation at every turn. Not only that, Jay-Z has always portrayed himself as a hustler who worked his way to the top, but behind the scenes, his rise to power is filled with calculated moves and questionable alliances. One of the clearest examples is his relationship with Desiree Perez.
I mean, even though he has that past of stepping over others in order to further himself in his own career, and he's got that the whole trying to make himself look good by saving rappers. No matter what he's done in the past, like, you have to still give props to how business savvy he is in a way. It's like, damn, you kind of betrayed Dame Dash, but he did start to build an empire afterwards. If only he hadn't, gone through the process of betrayal, what if he was able to still like be not betray Dame and still create this legacy that he's created? But so you gotta give him props for his business savviness.
A key figure in his inner circle and current CEO of Roc Nation. While Perez is known for securing major deals for Jay-Z's empire, such as Beyonce's Formation Tour and Rihanna's Samsung partnership, her past as a government informant complicates the story. Perez has had a pretty spotty past involving major drug-related crimes. However, she avoided a lengthy prison sentence by cooperating with the DEA to convict major cocaine traffickers. Desiree Perez's criminal history resurfaced when 6ix9ine publicly called out Meek Mill, a Roc Nation artist, for associating with someone who had cooperated with the government, highlighting the hypocrisy within Jay's own camp. Because while rappers like Meek uphold the importance of street loyalty, they continue to work under someone who broke those very rules. Despite all this, Jay-Z continued to support Perez, and in 2021 she received a full pardon from Donald Trump, a move that only deepened the contradictions surrounding her role. For Jay-Z, Perez is more than just a fixer, she's part of his strategy. From handling high-profile deals to navigating legal issues, Perez has been instrumental in expanding Roc Nation's reach, even if it meant sacrificing the loyalty Jay-Z claims to value. Jay-Z's ability to capitalize on Perez's skills while turning a blind eye to her past showcase.
Yo, that is not his good side. you know when people take pictures and they're like, yo, make sure you get my good side. Hey, yo, Jay, I don't think this is your good side, my guy.
To value. Jay-Z's ability to capitalize on Perez's skills while turning a blind eye to her past showcases his knack for cutting deals and hustling his way to the top, even if it leaves his credibility hanging in the balance. Ultimately, the question is clear. Is Jay-Z's loyalty to the streets just another hustle, one that he manipulates for personal gain? Well, his connection to Perez suggests that his game is far from clean. It's calculated, it's strategic, and it's just one more chapter in his ongoing legacy of outsmarting his competition, even if it means bending the very rules he claims to follow. Now, the company has broken through into the industry, and they now manage many major names such as Alicia Keys, Uzi, Megan, A$AP Rocky, and Rihanna, just to name a few.
The title scam, allegedly.
After launching Roc Nation, Jay-Z set his sights on an even bigger venture, the booming music streaming industry. In 2011, as Spotify was gaining traction in the US, Jay-Z made his move by acquiring the Norwegian streaming company Aspero for $56 million in 2015, then rebranding it as Tidal to compete in the market. Leveraging his deep connections in the music industry, Jay-Z brought artists like Madonna, J. Cole, Rihanna, Alicia Keys, Daft Punk, and Kanye West on board, giving them partial ownership in the platform. Tidal was marketed as a streaming service, quote-unquote, for artists by artists, meant to empower musicians, and even dropped one of his legendary freestyles preaching about equal pay for artists.
You know die for equal pay, right? You know when I work, I ain't your slave, right? You know I ain't shucking and jiving and high-fiving. You know this ain't back in the days, right? Oh, skeptic when it's their own. You bought 9 iPhones and Steve Jobs was rich. Phil Knight's worth trillions. You still bought those kicks. Spotify's 9 billion, they ain't say.
However, the company's launch didn't go as smoothly as planned. Fans were quick to criticize the launch event, where an array of wealthy, successful artists stood on stage seemingly out of touch as they spoke about not being properly compensated. What was meant to be a revolutionary moment for artists came across as being tone deaf. In July 2015, Tidal found itself in hot water when Cash Money Records hit them with a $50 million lawsuit over Lil Wayne's music being released on the platform without proper authorization. Things didn't get any better for Tidal when, in February 2016, they faced a $5 million class action lawsuit from Yesh Music LLC and John Emanuel of the band The American Dollar, alleging unpaid royalties and unauthorized use of their music. But Tidal's legal troubles were just beginning, and these—
Bro, you just because, like, hold on, let me touch on that Lil Wayne situation, like releasing his music without properly doing so. Just because you quote unquote saved him before doesn't mean you can just, like, do things like that. You gotta go through the proper channels in order to make sure everything's on the up and up before you just release a big artist music like Wayne. Like, I wonder if it wasn't Wayne, if it was like a smaller artist, would they have been as, would the backlash have been as successful? Would they have been able to sue Tidal for it? Or would Tidal have won? I don't know.
early lawsuits set the tone for what was to come. Despite being a vocal supporter of the streaming platform and exclusively releasing his highly anticipated album, The Life of Pablo, on Tidal, that all ended. In 2016, Kanye West ended his exclusive streaming deal with Tidal, claiming the company owed him $3 million for a platform that was meant to be for artists by artists. This falling out with one of the biggest stars only added to the perception that Tidal was struggling to live up to its lofty promises and was potentially another Jay-Z scam. Tidal initially thrived because of the exclusive deals Jay-Z managed to lock in with high-profile artists. Big names like Kanye West, Rihanna, and Beyonce were dropping projects exclusively on the platform, which helped boost its visibility. But as usual with Jay-Z, there was more going on behind the scenes. In 2021, Jay-Z flipped the company, selling it to Square CEO Jack Dorsey for $302 million.
See, I knew it. He flipped that shit, bro. Man, I was only with Tidal because I was like, yeah, I support Black ownership, cool. And then I was like, hold on, Jay-Z don't own this shit no more. And let me get off this platform. let me and cancel my subscription, bro. This is crazy. But honestly, I'm not surprised because he's from what we've seen in the rest of the video, it's been what Jay-Z is known to do, like just acquire something and then flip something. You know what I'm saying? And if he has to step over bodies in order to get to a higher position, he'll do that. And by bodies, I don't mean actually like bodies, but I mean like we saw how we did Dame Dash. Damn. And now he's trying to, and then he went through the process of saving rappers and trying to building up his image. And also those rappers will be kind of, I guess they could feel like they were indebted to him and that, they would owe him a favor as well. And then he's taking Tidal and flipping it. Bruh. All right, man. All right. Again, you got to give him props for his business savviness, but there's got to be better ways to go about it than that's not as scummy feeling. You know what I'm saying? There's got to be better ways. There's got to be a better way, a better way, a better way. Yeah.
Once again, Jay walked away with a massive payout, while others were left fighting for their cut. Nicki Minaj hasn't held back when it comes to airing her frustrations with Tidal. Recently, she dropped some bombshells about her involvement with the streaming service, making it clear that she felt disrespected and underpaid. According to Nicki, she was offered a mere $1 million to sell her stake in Tidal, a figure she saw as an insult. To her, this was nothing more than hush money to keep quiet about a deal, which she referred to as being scammed. In a tweet, she said, "So Barbs, thank you for supporting something I was a part of. I love you, but I was scammed and offered $1 million to be silenced. I declined. The grace of God is sufficient. I didn't need their hush money." Despite her heavy promotion of Tidal, she claims that she didn't get a cent from her efforts. In her words, "I didn't even get one red penny when no one promoted it more than me outside of Beyonce." Nicki's frustrations go deeper, especially when music exec Steve Stout suggested she missed out on millions because she didn't sign the right paperwork for her Tidal equity. She quickly fired back, revealing that the internal dealings and verbal agreements weren't as straightforward as they seemed. Ultimately, Tidal was yet another business that Jay-Z distanced himself from and went on to make millions of dollars from it.
He washed his hands of it and said, "Thanks for the money, I'm out." Chapter 4, the NFL and the Super Bowl play.
One of Jay-Z's most calculated moves ultimately involved betraying Colin Kaepernick. For those unfamiliar, Kaepernick was a talented quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers. However, in 2016, he became a figure of controversy when he began kneeling during the national anthem to protest the systemic oppression of black people in the United States, specifically highlighting police brutality. This sparked a wave of similar protests across the NFL, with other players joining in solidarity. The movement shook the sports world, creating both widespread support and backlash. Initially, Jay-Z was one of Kaepernick's most vocal supporters. He praised him during an ESPN interview, calling Kaepernick a true activist, and even wore a Kaepernick jersey during a Saturday Night Live performance, further aligning himself with the cause.
If you were his sports agent, and before this all happened, he came to you and said, "I want to do this," would you have said, "Do it, don't do it"? What would you have counseled the brother?
Oh, 100% do it. Look how many people play football. They're not all gonna be him. Would you rather be playing football, getting your head dinged in, or would you rather be an iconic figure for the rest of your life? We confuse the idea of having a job with fulfilling your purpose.
But as many of us know, major sports leagues like the NFL, NBA, and NHL tend to steer clear of politics in an effort to not alienate any part of their audience. With billions in advertising on the line, stakeholders started to worry about the impact of Kaepernick's protests, especially as NFL ratings began to drop. This is where Jay-Z saw his opportunity and made a business move. Jay-Z brokered a deal between Roc Nation and the NFL, positioning himself as a social justice and live events management organizer. With a cushy new role and a major payout in hand, he boldly declared, "We are past kneeling." In a meeting with NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, the narrative shifted, framing Kaepernick's protests as just the beginning of something bigger that he was going to lead.
Did you kneel or would you stand?
I think we've passed kneeling. I think it's time to go into actionable items.
With that, Jay-Z distanced himself from Kaepernick, leaving the man who sparked the movement without a contract or a team. While Kaepernick remains a champion for the Black Lives Matter movement, his NFL career has been essentially sidelined, thanks in part to Jay-Z's maneuvers. Jay-Z's rise to power within the NFL has only magnified his influence, particularly through his control over the Super Bowl halftime show. In the final chess move against the Cash Money camp, Hov struck a blow by announcing Kendrick Lamar as the headliner for Super Bowl 59 in Louisiana, right in Lil Wayne's home state.
Bro, I'm still like I don't really pay attention to sports like that, but if the Super Bowl is gonna be in Louisiana, little Louisiana, like obviously I was expecting Lil Wayne to be the halftime show. I mean, cool, Kendrick Lamar. I mean, that's what's up. But like, little Louisiana, and they didn't give it to Little. Come on, bruh. Like, that's a miss. I think it's a miss. I don't know. I hope Kendrick brings him on stage or something like that. I don't know, but you gotta give a shout out to Lil Wayne somehow, some way, right? And this was after, and so Jay-Z announces Kendrick's is the one to do the Super Bowl, and Jay-Z has already quote unquote saved Lil Wayne when he from that $7 million tax thing, and it's like if Jay-Z had the power to pick, why not pick Lil Wayne? Like, what's the move here? Is it because of everything that he just did, like especially with the back and forth with Drake? Obviously, you know, Kendrick won that, but Man, I don't know, man. I was disappointed to hear about it. That's all. I'm disappointed.
Decision hit hard for everyone in Cash Money, with Birdman and Nicki Minaj standing by Lil Wayne and Jay-Z choosing Kendrick, Drake's nemesis, to perform. It suggests this move was aimed directly at them. Unfortunately, Lil Wayne, caught in the crossfire, missed out on what could have been the biggest performance of his career. With this play, Jay-Z essentially managed to kill 3 birds with 1 stone, undermining Birdman, Nicki, and Drake all at once. Rumors circulated that Drake had repeatedly turned down the coveted Super Bowl spot, but an NFL insider was quick to shut down the claim, stating, "It's a blatant lie. In the 5 years that the NFL partnered with Roc Nation, they've never offered Drake the Super Bowl halftime show." This news underscored the ongoing tension between
But didn't so Drake feeling big mad, bro. He just got his ass kicked by Kendrick Lamar, and then he doesn't get picked for the Super Bowl. And instead, Kendrick gets picked for the Super Bowl, which he's after everything he just went through with Drake. Big shot at Drake again, and Drake tries to save face by saying, "Oh, I turned that shit down like a bunch of times already." And Super Bowl's like, "No, you didn't. We never. You can't turn down something we never offered you, bruh. What are you talking? What's this guy talking about? Hey, whose man's is this?"
Jay-Z and the Cash Money camp. Nicki Minaj took to Twitter, lashing out at Jay-Z and teasing that she had more to reveal, while Lil Wayne, caught in the middle, expressed deep disappointment over the situation. In typical Jay-Z fashion, he played the long game. By aligning with Kendrick, he not only backed Drake's biggest rival, but strategically positioned himself to settle old scores. Jay-Z once again made his move, walking away with millions and the power to choose any artist for one of the biggest stages in the world, at the expense of his rivals. Jay-Z's rise from the Marcy Projects to the top.
I wonder if he's mad. I wonder if Jay-Z is just mad that Lil Wayne didn't sign with him.
Top of the music industry is undeniably marked by brilliance, but it's also shaped by his shrewd, often controversial business maneuvers. Whether outmaneuvering Dame Dash at Rockefeller, turning Tidal into a profitable venture despite its scandals, building Roc Nation by undercutting other labels, or using his NFL connections to allegedly settle personal scores, Jay-Z's methods have drawn both admiration and criticism. But the question remains, is Jay-Z the ultimate mogul, or has he perfected the art of the hustle at the cost of loyalty? No matter the answer, one thing is clear. Jay-Z plays the game with precision, and he always plays to win.
Yeah, damn. I mean, that was a good video. Like, whether you're like a genius mogul or not, at the end of the day, if you don't have people who are loyal to you, then when shit hits the fan, not all problems can be solved by money. Sometimes you need that loyalty. Sometimes you gotta be able to ask somebody for some help because you have nowhere else to go. And if all you've done during your rise is show people how quick you are to turn on them or to, drop them for the almighty dollar, then people will know where you stand, and people that you're looking to align yourself with in the future will also know that alignment is probably not going to last very long, and then they too will have to watch for the day when you turn on them. I don't know. I think loyalty is more important than money, but that's just me. I'm not a billionaire rap mogul with businessman. But I don't know. I'm still curious because, with Diddy's downfall, will he talk? Will Diddy talk? And if he does, excuse me, will he say things that could land Jay-Z in trouble? I don't know. I'm curious. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. And yeah, would you sacrifice loyalty for money? Let me know. But that's all for this video. As always, link to the video and link to the channel will both be in the description below, so be sure to check them out. And while you're there, don't forget to do those 3 things I like to add. While you're there visiting HipHopMadness, don't forget to do those 3 things I like to ask you to do. And like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell for more videos. Yeah. And you know what it is after that. In case I don't see you good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Peace and much love to you.